Let me tell you the story of how me and my boys refused to back down against impossible odds. The story started off with me in a castle surrounded by 200 other players. You see, a YouTuber called Mr. Smart Guy was putting on an Ark Survival Ascended event. 200 players on the same server, all starting off on the bottom right corner of the map. And here's the catch: no respawns allowed. Once you're dead, you're out. The server would be open for 3 hours a day before being closed down and opened up at the same time again for 3 more hours tomorrow. And keep in mind, regular Ark servers max out at 70 players, as opposed to the absurd 200 this one had. And I only had one objective in mind: survive. Go! Go! With the event officially starting, 200 players streamed out of the gates and onto the land before us. Now, to ensure that there wouldn't immediately form like a literal lake of blood from everyone fistfighting each other, the first day was set to PvE, meaning we couldn't hurt each other. And I set forth with my plan. You see, before the event, I'd assembled a crack team of players that I'd played with before and knew that I could trust. Me, Donkey, RBZ, Powerlander, Ty, Goosekit, and Lou. And together, we formed the Goopers. While it was true that there was only 7 of us and we would be minuscule compared to some of the other tribes that would form, if we were able to maintain better cohesion and coordination than the tribes around us, we'd be able to take down tribes that were much bigger than us. Now with that, we already had a plan in mind. We needed to set off from the area we'd started in, called Herbivore Island, and make our way up north till we hit the Redwoods. And that would be the homeland of the Goopers. Having now made it to the Redwoods, we couldn't help but admire the grandeur of the trees around us. From here, our plan would be to build and live on top of a tree platform. However, these require a fair amount of metal to craft, so first we'd have to set up a temporary refining base. Alright, if you guys can come, here's the spot. Me and a couple other Goopers worked on stripping the nearby mountain of every piece of metal it had, while the rest of the Goopers farmed other materials that we would need. And before long, we'd be able to craft a tree platform and be living up in the trees like fucking Avatar. That was, of course, assuming nothing went wrong.
Like, Albert could make a private call.
The guy from the PTs is fucking stealing all our shit, dude. Agent D, the leader of a nearby tribe called Women in Black, had come by and stolen everything we had in our smithy. You see, I'd never played on a server that's PvE before, so I have no experience with the rule set. As a result, I thought it meant that on top of not being able to hurt people, you also wouldn't be able to steal from them. But I was wrong, and a lot of our materials had just been stolen. Later, we would find out Agent D, the guy who just stole from us, was actually an Ark YouTuber called Imian, one who is notorious for having scammed people before, which I find very ironic. And the worst part is we have to kind of just sit here and take it because we can't do anything to him, right? And of course, you can't just steal from someone once, right? So twice over the course of the next hour, he would come back and try to steal from us again. He can't grief it. I tried to do it. He's literally, he's coming in to rob again, Lou.
Yeah, there's nothing in here though.
But as we all know, there's this saying in Tennessee:
Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
So the other 2 stealing attempts from this greedy little bastard were not nearly as successful, and we were able to keep farming up to the tree platform. Bro's hopping in here with the XD. Okay, tree platform is complete. Using a pterodon that one of the Goopers had tamed, I took to the skies to make it to the tree that would soon be our home.
Player bro was crazy.
I hope this is the right spot.
I'm gonna try something. I'm blocking this.
Okay.
We might not get on instantly at first.
And with this, us Goopers now had our humble origins. A simple stone shack perched high up on a tree with a series of refining forges and a small fleet of flying tames to get up and down from the base. Or you could always try climbing the big ass ladder if you want. And now, since we had a smithy that wasn't going to literally get stolen from, we decided to gear up a little bit.
How long do we have now?
Why the fuck?
Damn, that's a lot of campfires.
And with this now done, it was time for the server to come down for the day, before coming back up again tomorrow for 3 more hours. Today had gone well. Granted, we had been stolen from, but we still got the base down at the end of the day. And tomorrow, we could really start expanding the Gooper Empire. By the end of the first day, every major tribe was now established and had their own areas of influence. To the south, a tribe called Police, the east, another tribe called America, northeast, Bean Vengers, and northwest, Blackout, as well as some other minor tribes. And guess what? The Goopers found themselves right smack dab in the middle of all of them. However, we got quite lucky in that the biggest tribe, Bean Vengers, we had a verbal alliance with. We agreed not to kill them, and they agreed not to kill us. However, unfortunately, they were the furthest tribe away from us. Essentially, the Goopers would be on their own. And worst of all, right next to us was Women in Black, the same tribe whose leader had tried to steal from us 3 times yesterday. Now, we had a small area of influence around our base, but it was very, very small. We had very few flying tames to actually exert power with, and again, we were tiny compared to the tribes around us. But today, we would change that.
I'll follow you. You know the way, right?
Oh, we're going to Pearls? Okay.
Yeah, pearls.
Yeah.
Me and Lou mounted pterodons and we set off for the far north, in search of silica pearls, a resource required to make electronics. You see, I had set out a mandate that every Gooper leaving base had to travel with at least one other Gooper. With so many people crammed on one server, getting in a fight every time you stepped outside your front door was basically all but guaranteed. And in this strategy, we were unique. None of the other tribes on the server really had the coordination to pull something like this off. Now back to me and Lou on the Pearl run. Having now made it to the Arctic, we were in the area where pearls would now spawn. However, we were very far behind enemy lines. If we got in any trouble here, we wouldn't be able to get any help. It would be just down to me and Lou.
Lou, I'm going further up north to where the pearls spawn. We don't know who the fuck no
Oh shit.
bro.
Albert,
What?
can you come back to me? I
Roll
just
it,
fucking
nice,
DC'd.
let's kill it.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, fine. Dude, this...
Lou's game had crashed, leaving him unconscious on the floor, vulnerable. This was far from ideal. I needed to keep my eye on him until he was able to load back into the game.
Alright, guys, can we focus on the base right? Because the base... Oh no, there's a guy with an RG coming. This is so ass.
At the worst time possible, a player on an Argentavis was approaching, much slower and less agile than the pterodon that I was riding. But if an RG grabbed you with its claws, you were in deep shit. 10 times out of 10, a skilled pterodon rider can easily take care of an RG rider. But things become a lot more complicated when your buddy's unconscious on the floor. This was bad.
This is so ass. Lou, can you get back in quick, bro? Oh, and he's trying to fucking beef with me. That's really good. And he's killing Lou's knocked out body. That's awesome, dude.
This guy wasn't even trying to fight me. He was just trying to kill Lou when he couldn't defend himself.
This kid is such a fucking loser. Lou, you gotta log back in quick. I'm like actively fighting this guy.
If Lou was gonna survive, I needed to buy him some more time by keeping this guy off of him.
Dude. This guy's being such a fucking bitch about it too.
I'm in. I'm shielding.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Get on the PT. Get on the PT. And let's go. All right, fly up. Fly.
I'd managed to hold him off long enough for Lou to log back in. It's certainly been sketchy fighting so far away from our friends and so close to our enemies. But remember, no Gooper left behind. With the whole ordeal now over, we could finally go and get those pearls we'd come so far to grab.
I literally loaded in holding L2 on 5 crashes as much as
With enough pearls for a suitable amount of electronics, we now started returning home.
Wait, detected an enemy. Yo, there's an RG here.
Oh, I got him.
You picked him?
I picked him.
A player had approached our base riding an Argentavis, but instead of picking up and killing one of us, he instead had found himself in the claws of an RG being ridden by Palander. Me and Lou were still a decent distance away from the base though, so we kicked it up a gear to get back there faster.
Are you guys on the tree? Are you guys on the tree platform?
Yeah, we're on the
Yeah,
tree
we're on a
platform.
tree platform. Literally right above it. One more shot where he should be going.
Oh,
280, how much health does this guy have?
Damn.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh,
Is he asleep or dead?
Are you fucking serious?
Agent D, the same guy that yesterday had been stealing from us, had come to our base completely by himself and got fingered by about 8 different Goopers. In what is now, unfortunately, a deleted message on Discord, he would claim that he was coming to roleplay with us. Like what, roleplay being a thief and fucking steal from us again? Yeah, we roleplayed as people who have been stolen from before and just fucking killed you. How's that for roleplay? With us killing both the leader and the RG he had ridden over here on, which was a pretty decent RG, Women in Black was now rudderless. With them in such a dismal state, our hold over the Redwood strengthened, and on top of that, as me and Lou had been off getting pearls, Donkey and RBZ had moved south in search of resources and had gotten in a fight with police. The resulting scuffle left the Goopers no worse for wear, and police downed 2 members. The Goopers were finally starting to build a name for themselves, and other tribes were starting to take notice. But this could lead to some unwanted attention, so we needed to beef up our defenses, and the first step of that was for me to make some auto turrets.
Bro's trying to fucking industrial.
Oh, you were ahead.
attack.
Yeah, it's on attack.
Neon green.
Alright, guys, turret number 2 is up.
Auto turrets. Throwing a couple of these around our base, they'll automatically lock on and shoot to anyone that steps within range of them, which will make defending the base much, much easier.
There's a kid on me. He's wearing.
That's-
Oh, he's wearing fur. He's wearing fur. I've got him. I'm bringing to the base. I'm bringing to the base.
500 meters out, I'm on the way.
Goose Kid had found himself in a fight with a member of Blackout, the second biggest tribe on the server, so the Goopers began pulling up to help him out.
He's dead. He's dead. He's so dead. He's dead.
Goose Kid had managed to kill the guy before the rest of the Goopers pulled up, but we needed to search the nearby area. There could be more of them, and after all, the Redwoods is our home. We can't just let them go wandering around here as they please.
Wait, guys, hold on. What is this over here? Guys, come over here. I think a lot of these PTs are tamed. Yeah, I see him. That ping's on the guy.
Oh, there's a guy on me. There's an
you get
RG
him?
on me.
Okay, Luke, ping. Give me a
Yeah,
ping.
I'm fine.
I see you right here.
On the floor. I like the water.
I got him.
I grabbed him with the claws of my RG. No way he's getting out of this one.
Guys, Luke, I'm right above you, dude. Help me out. Oh,
Oh,
DC'd,
shit.
he DC'd.
And what you just got to witness right there was an honest-to-God rage quit. The guy was already good as dead right there, so he just went ahead and left the server. Made it just a bit easier for us, I guess, so that's good at least. You see, what had happened was some members of Blackout had left from their northern base and headed down to the Redwoods to go on a pterodon taming spree, because quite a few spawn here. And although one of them had escaped with a good amount of pterodons, they had paid an unbearably high price for them. So now both police and Blackout despised us. But we still had to get the last infinity stone of people who hate us collected.
The follow.
Derek, over here.
Where?
I
don't see
just mocked him.
Alright, I'll be honest, I have no idea what Goose Kid said either, but he pinged an enemy, so I guess I'll go check that out.
I got him.
Nice.
Me eventually.
Pick him up. Pick him up.
I'm out of stam.
Oh, I got him.
Nice.
Bring him in.
claw
I'll snipe him.
Pounder had caught this guy in his claws, so now it was time for the Gooper gangbang to begin.
I'm hitting.
Oh, I just bowled one of our PTs back soon.
Dig him out. Dig him out. My stam's still pretty good.
Killed him.
Oh, let's go.
That was America, guys. Dude, we have beef with everyone now.
With this member of America now dead, all three major tribes around us now hated us. We were now besieged on all sides by enemies, but we had also had a stroke of good luck. A few of the Goopers had ambushed and killed a member of Women in Black right outside their base. Later, we would find out that this was their last member. Since we'd cut off the head of the serpent, the rest of the tribe had floundered, and had died in pointless skirmishes all across the map. With our first enemy now truly gone, the entirety of the Redwoods was under our domain. With that done, the server would now come to a close for the day. All in all, the Goopers had done extraordinarily well. Over the course of the skirmishes taking place today, the Goopers had managed to get 9 kills. And by working together, watching each other's backs, and never leaving a Gooper to die, we hadn't lost a single man in the process. With us now on the radar of all the major tribes around us, tomorrow they'd be sure to challenge us. But us Goopers, we'd be ready.
There's a cheap toilet you can make.
The fact that my instant reaction was to say skimmed toilet there is fucking
Oh
depressing.
my god.
You could just kill yourself.
Due to our immense productivity from yesterday, we were left with a surplus of excess resources, and these went straight into further upgrades for the base.
Might be
No,
some,
no.
Might be some collision ships. Oh.
There we go. I got it.
By upgrading all the structures and the actual platform itself to metal, as well as adding a couple additional turrets, we were able to turn Gooper HQ into practically an impenetrable fortress. Essentially, we wouldn't have to worry about getting raided.
It said like 20 seconds left,
Pterodon
actually.
was killed by Halo. Ty's in trouble, guys.
Uh-oh.
Far from base, Ty had been ambushed and had his pterodon killed. You see, when you have an odd number of Goopers, it's impossible for everybody to move in twos. So Ty was far from base, by himself, and had just lost his only means of escape, and the enemies were closing in. But there was no shot in hell we were just gonna leave him to die by himself. So we Goopers mounted a rescue operation.
Tame's rough. Alright, whatever. Okay. Let's get some more people over here.
Okay, we're going.
Alright, Ty, listen, we're coming to pick you up, buddy. PT guy on me right here.
I'd made it to where Ty had been stranded, but I was outnumbered. I couldn't get Ty out of here just yet. I needed to stall and buy more time for the rest of the Goopers to pull up.
Yeah. No.
Dude, if you get slow to the gun, I whistle on mic, bro.
Here, how far out are you guys?
Yeah, I'm coming.
I'm like 500 meters, I think.
I'm close. I'm like 200 meters. I'm close.
Type ping yourself. I'm gonna pick you up and we're leaving.
The Goopers had pulled up and were distracting the enemies. Now it was time to get the fuck out of here.
Back, don't follow.
Okay, I got Ty. Is everyone safe to pull out?
Yeah.
All right, everyone get the fuck
waiting,
out of
that's
here.
why I'm like,
I have no idea. I have no idea why I asked it like that. If everybody was safe to pull out. But regardless, we got Ty out of there and brought him back home safe and sound. My first port of call upon returning home was to head to the local mountain and get some metal for all the Goopers. Founder, come to the mountain. I'm mining.
Okay.
Mine bros?
We love to mine.
Flying home with this new bounty of metal, I was able to craft C4 for myself as well as a shotgun for every single Gooper. A desperately needed upgrade that would soon come in very handy.
There's
Oh,
right
above
there.
us, above us.
Are we just gonna shoot at it?
Look, they're taming a Quetzal, they're taming a Quetzal.
Next to their base, America was attempting to tame a Quetzal, the largest and most powerful flying tame available on the server. If they were successful in this would be a disaster for the Goopers, a tribe that we had beef with taming the perfect creature to attack our base. Simply put, we couldn't allow this to happen, but this would be sketchy. We would have to fight a tribe much larger than us right outside their front door.
We're 700 out.
I'm not on my dino right now though.
All right, I'm here.
How do I bowl him? I should. I lost my PTO.
Oh, there's a guy
see
trying to
him,
pick
I
you,
see
Lou.
him.
Watch out.
Can you ping him?
Well, we got more guys coming in from above.
More and more people from each side were showing up to the fight. However, due to our better coordination, we temporarily had a numbers advantage. We needed to press this before the rest of them showed up.
I'm being picked a lot, but
Okay.
I'm
Where?
fucking shotgunning in his ass.
Okay.
How you like that? Hmm? It's fine, I got parachutes.
Do not follow them south. Do not follow them to the cave.
He's gonna try bowling me though. Lou,
Oh,
hold him still.
Got him,
Bring
picked him
down.
again.
Oh,
I'm
let's
bringing
go.
him,
Drop him
bringing him
up,
up.
but make
Now
him
I'm
drop
throwing
him
him
all
up.
him.
Drop him. He's coming down, guys. Get ready. His buddy just tried to. His buddy's here on a PT.
Someone use shotgun.
I
Who's
just
shotgun?
got
Who's
picked. I just
shotgun?
got picked. Do you like that little champ?
Can you bowl it?
Oh, I killed his PT. I killed his PT. There's a guy on me, guys. There's gonna be a guy in the swamp water.
Lou, that's me.
Oh fuck, sorry.
He's dead.
please.
He's dead. I heard him die from fall damage.
Is he?
You fucking idiot.
Let's go.
All right, guys, we're up 1 kill. Can somebody find my PT and bring it down to me?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to my PT.
Yeah, I'm whistling it down for you.
I found.
At this moment, the enemies temporarily pulled back to regroup. Before they had time to restart the attack, we regrouped and pulled back out of there. This little excursion had been a decisive success. In the confusion, the wild Quetzal they were attempting to tame had escaped, and we'd even killed one of them without losing a single of our own. And this fight perfectly demonstrated why the Goopers were so effective. What good is having 20 guys in a tribe if only 4 or 5 pull up to a fight right outside their front door? Upon returning home, we went to strengthen ourselves further. For my part in this, I went to go tame a decent level large nearby.
That's the PC. Oh,
Not yet.
There we go.
There we go.
And then we did something a little bit gross.
There you go.
there we go.
You pregnant?
There we go.
Okay.
You're good.
I'm
You're
pregnant.
good.
I'm pregnant.
We got this big kind of horse-looking thing called a paraseer pregnant by this giant fucking bug thing called a rhinoginthia. A pregnancy that soon resulted in the death of the paraseer and the birth of this disgusting little hellspawn, which I then claimed. And as soon as this thing was fully grown up and mature, we'd be able to use it. Now, just for the record, that's the only way to get a rhinoginthia. If there was any alternate way to get it, we would have taken that. Trust me, the Goopers are weird, but we're not that fucking weird. As this was being done, some of the Goopers had moved past the northern Redwoods River, where they had made contact with an isolated player. They had surrounded him and just picked him off the RG he was on. All in all, they were in a perfect position to kill him. However, the realization was made that this was one of the Bean Vengers. I immediately called off the attack and the player was put back on the floor safely. Although this had almost been a massive mistake, this was actually a good sign. Both us and Bean Vengers were doing so well that our area of influences were starting to meet. Who knows, in the future we might even be able to work together. And thus marked the end of day 3. The Goopers and their allies were doing better than ever. Over the course of today, the Goopers had upgraded our base massively, and we gotten 4 kills, once again not losing a single man of our own. The Goopers simply had to hold out for another 4 days, and we'd survive the event. And with the tribes around us dropping like flies, and us becoming comparatively much stronger, it was starting to look like we might just make it after all. I recognized that for the past 3 days the Goopers had been working very hard, and it was right around time for a little bit of a treat. So I organized sort of a field trip into the heart of the abandoned base of Women in Black, our first enemy.
This cave, that's like.
Where's
the
this Jenny,
cave.
bro? Where's this Jenny?
There's a Jenny outside, and there's a Jenny inside, I'm pretty sure. I think it might be behind this wall. Definitely doable.
Did we find
Yeah,
his...
but like,
Did we find
what,
which
bro?
generator
Why
was?
is there offline? Right?
And what a pathetic hovel we had found. A couple foundations, a single pterodon, and a couple turrets. In the corner of a cave. What a pathetic way to live. And this was massively uplifting to the Goopers. To compare how a tribe that, keep in mind, had been a very similar size to us had done in comparison to us, it really showed by how us working together and watching each other's backs, we'd managed to punch far above our weight. And that marked the end of our field trip. I mean, guys, we all remember the field trip we took at school, right? Where we went to like a really pathetic dead person's house and laughed at how sad it was. We all remember that, right, guys? Upon returning home, me, Ty, Lou, and Goose Kid grouped up and headed out east.
Uh-oh.
What, Goose?
Oh, RG on me.
Oh, kill me. He's on me. He's trying to take me. He's a...
I'm coming. Get out of here. Guys,
Dude,
pull it back.
I'm
pull it
dead.
back. Oh my god.
Goose Kid was dead. The Goopers had just suffered their first casualty. And worst of all, it'd been done in the scummiest way possible. You see, what a tribe had done is they'd gone into the forest and found the deepest bush they could find. One that would be impossible to see through. And from there they had hidden a bunch of auto turrets. And auto turrets don't care how much foliage there is. If you're in range of them, they will shoot you. And if there's enough of them, they'll kill you before you can even react. So you would be killed by something you couldn't even see and had no time to react to. Now this is considered a scummy strat to use on normal servers, where respawns are allowed. But on this server, to have your whole story just end like that by something you couldn't even see? You see, everyone on the server knew this was a strategy you could use, and one that would work incredibly well, but nobody was willing to sink to those depths, except these guys, whoever they were. And the only way to destroy an auto turret is by going right up to it and placing C4 directly on it. But we don't even know where they are. If we go looking for them, we're just gonna get killed. Our literal only option was to just leave and go home. But in the process of this, we lost another Gooper. Ty had also been shot and killed by one of these turrets that he couldn't see. 3 days of not a single Gooper dying, and now we had just lost 2 in 5 minutes. We needed to get home and just assess the situation.
Shotgun reload?
You find someone, Lou? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm fighting people, but they're
Okay.
Lou had been jumped by 3 people, and I was the only Gooper nearby. I had no choice but to fly to him as fast as I could. We'd still be outnumbered, but I didn't care. We couldn't lose another Gooper. We just couldn't.
Could you say in the
They bored me.
oh my god.
No!
Did Lou just die?
Fuck, dude. Alright, I gotta...
Fucking Christ.
I'd been too late. Lou was dead. Everybody that had accompanied me on this failed expedition was now dead, and I was racked with guilt. 3 Goopers. Just like that, 3 Goopers were dead. And as I flew home, I came to a sickening realization. This had been being Vengers. The only people on the server that were supposed to be our allies had just killed damn near half of us. And worse yet, we now just realized that the day before, when we had saved Ty from those people that had ambushed them, that had also been Bean Vengers. If only we'd realized earlier that Bean Vengers had betrayed us, Goose Kid, Ty, and Lou would all still be alive. And thus, I alone returned home. Upon returning, I paid my respects to the graves of those who had fallen that had been constructed by Palander. But once again, we were struck with a tragedy. Donkey was dead. Unable to bear what had happened, he had killed himself. There was now 3 Goopers left. Through all this, us 3 remaining Goopers tried to keep our chins up. And as such, Palander headed south into the swamp to gather more resources.
Oh, I just got picked.
Oh my...
Oh my.
Thank you.
Paleo.
Practically right outside our front door, Palander had been ambushed by a couple guys from Bean Vengers. Would this really be it? Would we lose another Gooper today? I had to fly over, do what I could.
Okay, I'm 300 meters out. Alright, I'm gonna...
Can
Hold on. Palander, I'm gonna... Hold still. I'm gonna pick you. Oh, you're too heavy. Drop some shit, please.
Oh wow.
Can you hold still?
Mhm.
Oh, the PT guy's back. He's got you.
Oh,
Can you
what the
shotgun him or
dude.
something?
Yeah, I'm off now. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, I'm low.
RBZ, where are you?
Quite far away.
I'll fight him.
Oh.
Just get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay.
RBZ was too far away to help. I'd have to hold the enemies off and buy Palander some time to escape by myself.
Okay. Fuck you. Alright, listen, I'm fighting with these guys. Can you...
Yeah, I mean, you haven't got me. I'm good now.
Okay, can you stay hidden?
I'll try to.
Just get them.
Okay, I'm good. I'm just hiding
How
now.
are you not?
With Palander now safe, I got the fuck out of there. Although the Goopers had managed to watch out for each other once more, this was an awful sign. Right next to our base, we were being jumped and ambushed. With only 3 of us now, The land that the Goopers had fought so hard to take could no longer be held. At this point, we could barely hold on to the land directly outside our base. And with this, the day ended. Throughout a couple skirmishes, we'd gotten a couple kills, but we'd lost 4 Goopers in the process, more than half of our total number. Due to treachery, the Goopers were at their lowest point possible, and we were surrounded by enemies. How long would it be till one of them closed in and just finished us off? But all was not lost. I had a plan. I always have a plan. As the sun rose on a new day on the server, I set my plan into motion. You see, although us and the other tribes around us had our differences, we had literally been killing each other. Police, America, and Blackout had at least had the honor of not using the scummiest strat possible to stab us in the back. So what I needed to do was make an alliance to stand against Bean Vengers. And thus I went and spoke to the leader of all 3 major tribes around us. To police, I spoke of the inevitability of Bean Vengers winning due to their huge size. To America, I spoke of the scumminess of the turret strat. And to Blackout, I played on the rivalry that they'd always had with Bean Vengers. And in this way, we were all brought together into one big alliance, one that was roughly the same size as Bean Vengers. But before long, this alliance ran into an issue. Not only had all the tribes within the alliance fought amongst each other previously, but the person who had put the tribe together had fought and killed a member from all of the tribes. Simply put, there was no trust or motivation in this new alliance, something Bean Vengers didn't have to worry about. What this tribe needed was a proof of loyalty and motivation to fight against Bean Vengers. What they needed was a martyr, and that's exactly what I was going to give them. Me and RBZ would head off north deep into Bean Vengers territory. From there, we'd attack the first person we saw. We'd soon be jumped by an overwhelming swarm of Bean Vengers members, and we'd be killed. Of that there was no doubt. But in this act, we would prove the total loyalty of the Alliance. We'd prove that it wasn't some trick set up by the Goopers to lead them into an ambush. And better yet, if we fought well, we'd act as an inspiration, something for the other members of the Alliance to rally behind. Pounder would be left behind as the sole inheritor of the Goopers' wealth, to dole out to the Alliance as necessary. Me and RBZ's death would be a very high price to pay, but if that's what it took to avenge the Goopers who had been betrayed, then so be it. Me and RBZ set off.
Wait, is that you?
On it?
There's a PT
Okay.
guy over there.
What, by
Do you want to try to go Microraptor whistle in?
We'd found a guy. This was it. Let's show them what Goopers are made of.
I picked him. Picked him. I got picked. Shoot.
A bullet?
Fuck, okay, I'm coming. Whistle neutral on our shit, so that helps you.
He's just trying to knock us.
Fucking cornball, dude.
RBZ had been knocked out with a poison grenade. There was nothing I could do to save him now, but I had to try. It's the Gooper way.
Are we both knocked out? How many people are knocked
No,
out? We just ran into it.
Fucking die. Okay.
One PT down.
One of them? Some guy's picking me. Some guy's picking. I can't fucking ping. Right here. I'm still getting knocked.
Dude, my shotguns are not registering, bro.
It's still 200. How am I not going? Okay, now I'm going down.
Lacking the balls to kill me themselves, they were dragging me off away from RBZ to a set of turrets. What exactly would these guys be without their turrets? But I wasn't gonna go down that easy.
It's time to pull out, Albert.
I'm fucking... Yeah, fuck you!
I was inside of their turret raft with C4, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, you can't place C4 inside of a raft, so I can't take their turrets permanently offline. Best I can do is turn their generator off and go back out.
How the fuck did you do that?
Did you kill someone?
Come on, can I fucking reload here?
Despite the fact that I was viciously outnumbered with all my armor broken and already half dead, they'd still resorted to using the turrets. Overall, this whole operation had been a massive success. Our deaths would ensure the smooth operation of the Alliance, and we'd even gone down swinging. Couldn't ask for a better death. With With my death, all the tribes in the Alliance had now rallied to a common cause. Bean Vengers had to fall. And seeing as they weren't going to attack us, we were left with only one option, to attack them. Bean Vengers had set up their main base on what was known as Carno Island. The entirety of the island had been surrounded by large stone behemoth gates, and inside could be found their main base, surrounded by Plant Species X, a form of automated defense. This would make a direct attack nearly impossible. To add on top of that, Bean Vengers was incredibly well stocked on powerful tames. Even worse than that, the entirety of their island had been surrounded in watchtowers, from which they could shoot out. In short, their island was incredibly well defended. But that was perfectly fine, because we were going to give them a taste of their own medicine. Each tribe in the Alliance had constructed a turret raft. Simply put, it's a boat with turrets on it. And because it can move around, you essentially have an area that the enemies cannot come into that you can move around as you please. It's overpowered, scummy, and incredibly underhanded. So basically, exactly what Bean Vengers deserved. Here's a map to get a better understanding of Bean Vengers' base. All the areas in light red indicate the areas they control. The solid red line indicates their outside perimeter wall, the small squares indicate any watchtowers they have, and the big square right near the top is their main base. The objectives of the attack would be to either kill all Bean Vengers members or to reach their main base. However, they have a lot of turrets. This isn't going to be some lightning campaign, this is going to be a war of attrition. However, as a precursor to this battle, Blackout had successfully recruited a defector from Bean Vengers. While Bean Vengers was still unaware of this defection, he snuck across the base, placing C4 on critical elements of Bean Vengers' defense. Once the C4 went off, multiple of their most important watchtowers were rendered useless, and a lot of their turrets had went offline, as well as the main base being beat up a little bit. And on top of that, it contributed to a general sense of confusion within the tribe. With this complete, he donned some scuba gear and disappeared into the ocean. After this, he grouped up with us. A great start for the war that would now come. Police then began their attack on the northern section of the base. He began by placing underwater mines just off the coast of Bean Vengers. Next, they targeted one of the watchtowers outside the walls. However, it wouldn't be long at all until Bean Vengers noticed. One of the members of police's attacking party had been snatched up and dragged away to the turrets of the main base, where he was immediately killed. The other member attempted to continue the attack. However, he too found himself dead at the hands of turrets. As the attack in the north was stalling out, in the south, a new front was opening. As the gates were being blown down, a couple Blackout members snuck under the gates to attack the Bean Vengers. As a few members of Bean Vengers and Blackouts were fighting near the gates, Blackout had blown the gate and had their turret raft nearby, killing a few members of Bean Vengers. Turns out, they didn't like it as much when they got killed by turrets, so the rest of them backed off. We were starting to gain ground. Following this, Palander, the last remaining Gooper, had blown a hole through the western section of the gates. From there, he was shelling the actual inside of their base via a cannon. Unsurprisingly, Bean Vengers did not like this, so from the land they sent out a few people on stegos, and from the sea they sent out their own turret raft. And just like that, Palander was being surrounded. But luckily, before long, a fellow cannon raft from our alliance had pulled up and forced the enemy's turret raft to back off. Even if our allies weren't Goopers in name, they certainly were in spirit. Back on the southern angle, due to the presence of turrets on both sides, it had devolved into a sniper fight, one that our side was slowly winning. We were killing more of them and pushing up just a little bit further. In response to this, Bean Vengers had hopped on a couple stegos and were trying to push us back. This counterattack was a complete failure. All the Bean Vengers participating in it had died to turrets. Following this, we were able to push up even further, and from there, we were able to place down actual turrets on their own island. We were making serious progress. The battle once again returned to a sniper duel, with each side exchanging shots, but once again we were making slow and steady progress towards their base. By this point, however, each side was reduced down to its last few members, and realizing that the event would soon run out of time, one Bean Vengers member returned to the core of their base to cower, while the others remained to hold the enemies back. In time, those two would die, leaving only one Bean Vengers member inside of the core of their base, and just then, the event ran out of time. Clearly, Bean Vengers was trying to win on some sort of technicality, but can you really consider it a win to be cowering in the corner of your base as enemies push through your defenses? No, of course you can't. The Alliance had won. However, unfortunately, Palantir had died to a turret raft in the attack, meaning no Goopers were alive to see it. But it's always better to die fighting to avenge those who had been killed than to simply let that betrayal go unpunished. You know, everybody wanted to ask me, what would I have done if the Goopers hadn't won? Well, I guess we'll never know. Thank you to Mr. Smart Guy for being chill as hell, putting on the event, and supplying me with the day 6 and 7 clips. And of course, thank you to all of the Goopers for being Goopers. I mean, do I really need to say anything else there? And a big thank you to all you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. More Gooper adventures coming soon.